was in a church, my old church home, and a gentleman walked up to me and said God told him to give me the lead role in his play. And I immediately looked at him and was like, well, God didn't tell me that. So that was my start, and I took the role in his play, and I learned the role. It was kind of easy to learn it, and as reading, I said, I could write this. I've always been a writer, writing songs, poetry, and various things. And right then, I said, let me write a TV pilot based on what I do. At the time, I was a 204B acting supervisor in the post office, and I had the challenges of my coworkers not being able to take, instructions from someone who's on the same level as them at one point. So I wrote a TV pilot called The Mail Room, which I turned into a play. Got my cast together, and the cast read it, and they loved it. We was rehearsing. I wrote 4 pages of A Piece of Me, which is a story pretty much about forgiveness and how my mother used crack cocaine for 20 plus years. I infused it into a story of forgiveness because I wouldn't forgive her while she was on crack, and I wouldn't forgive her as we sat in church 2 or 3 years, saved and praise the love of God we can't see or touch. So them reading 4 pages of that, they said, Jermaine, you need to pause The Mail Room, which is 70 plus pages, and finish these 4 pages of A Piece of Me. I wrote that play in 4 days, took me a month to edit it, and it's been running. It ran for maybe 4 years and change. And with that, we did 50 shows, and in 50 shows, 81 people turned their life over to God. So that's been my motivation right there for writing plays. Writing the play, I pretty much just had these different conversations in my head of the characters. I like to build my characters if I can first. I go as far as depth as stuff that might not even affect them in the play, but I like to know the character maybe was a college graduate. One character maybe worked at their job 17 years. One character may have an alternative lifestyle. Another character may be homeless. And this stuff may not show itself in the play, but it builds in my mind with the type of person that I'm working with or the type of conversation they may have. Society says a high school dropout may not talk the same as someone with 2 PhDs. So I know that conversation within the play, how I want it to go is differently than this person's conversation. So I build different ways, and as the idea goes to me, I can, pretty much start drafting. But it goes in so many different ways. You got to go with the flow and go what works best for you. One play I can start off just ad-lib. Another play I have to build 90% of it in my head before I start to write it. So it varies. Well, what I did was I reached out to certain friends that I know that were actors or new actors, and people just started coming. And then as they came, the great actors started referring and bringing other actors with them. So you may know one good actor who may know 4 more good ones. So if you got a good project and people love the atmosphere and see the vision of where everything's going, they'll start bringing the people that they work with in other places or the people they know are dependable, reliable, and good. But I shot out a few emails to some gospel websites, to some online gospel services, and got a great response and got some people and just started building. And the average actor stayed with me 3.5 years with my play. It becomes profitable when everybody buys into the vision. When I say everybody, the actors have to go out there and promote themselves as well as the play. And it becomes profitable when people become your best business card. So the less money, you just pretty much got to manage your overhead. If your overhead is at a minimum, you definitely can hit that overhead and then keep going and top it. But there's a level of plays where you're not going to get rich at. You have to get to that next level where you have the sponsorship, where you have the investors, where you have the promoters with you. So it definitely can be profitable if how you use it and how you manage it and the road you take. Definitely, I think the small town is a great place to hit because a lot of these small towns don't have many things going on. You can be the only thing going on in that one town for 2 months and just come there that one night or 2 nights. Here in New York City or another big city, you may go against other stage plays, bowling, movie, concerts, So it can be a bigger, people have more options and choices. So I definitely promote the small towns where other stage plays or larger stage plays at the time do not visit. So it definitely can be profitable and get that message out because those small towns know somebody in the big town. So everybody can spread the word about what you're doing and your production. If it's great and good, it's profitable in many ways.